even with the improvements that the Chicago Bears have made for the weapons that the new quarterback will have on the Chicago Bears team, a lot of Bears fans still have a lot of questions over how this offensive line is going to shape up. We're going to take a look at each member on that offensive line, how they project. Will they continue to be Chicago Bears after the season, or hell, even into the season? We're going to take a look at all that. Plus, it's Friday, so we're going to dive into the mailbag. All that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Terry Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform that we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and look at this, get into this topic for today, into this content, I should say. And I want to start it off with, before we get into the mailbags, looking really at the offensive line. It's a place where a lot of Bears fans have the biggest question at when it comes to, we've improved the running back. We got Keenan Allen as the wide receiver. We got another tight end in Gerald Everett to add to the weapons we already had in DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson, Swift. I also forgot to mention Swift. But the offensive line, outside of adding some new centers there that are players that are going to play at center, which are upgrades, a lot of Bears fans are still wondering, have we done enough at that offensive line position? And you got to look at it, right? Let's look at the players that we know, that we don't have the biggest questions on, right? Darnell Wright, who had one of the best rookie years for our offensive linemen that we've seen in a while. It was an excellent rookie season. Yeah, he had some issues for when it comes down to it. And, he got some things that he's going to have to look at it and continue to develop on. But at the end of the day, his run blocking ability was excellent in that, and it was outstanding, when it came to pass rushes like Max Crosby, things like that. He has room that he needs to grow on for sure. But you look at what he did and how the foundation that he laid in his rookie year, it's more than enough reason to believe that he's going to take a leap maybe in year two, and we'll see what he's going to bring. We use the 10th pick on Darnell Wright. And when it comes to it and how he continues to improve, I don't really worry about it too much. Darnell Wright is going to be a player on the Chicago Bears team for a long time, in my opinion, especially if he stays healthy. And then you got Tevin Jenkins, right? Tevin Jenkins, who, I think a lot of Chicago Bears fans really do appreciate Tevin Jenkins. He's an outstanding run blocker. He's improved every year that he's been in. The biggest thing with him, it really comes down is to the injuries, right? That's what it comes down to with him. The fact that he's moved all around from guard to tackle, all those type of things, and he's been more than apt moving on different sides of the ball, different positions. He's missed 9 games over the 2 years, and he missed 11 games in his rookie season. So it's been a lot of games missed for Tevin Jenkins, and I think this is an important year for Tevin to prove that he can stay healthy. Because if he does, I do think that a contract extension is coming with him. And I think at the end of the day, a contract extension is probably coming for him in one way or another. But if he's healthy, that's going to eliminate all those concerns, I would think. But if he misses time again, it could turn into one of those decisions that Ryan Poles has to look at and maybe make some tough decisions on. But the biggest thing with Tevin Jenkins isn't his performance on the field. It's, can he stay on the field? And that's something hopefully he goes a long way into answering this year for the Chicago Bears, and we would love to see him be able to really do that. Next up, though, I want to talk about is a offensive lineman we spent a lot of money on last year. Well, we spent money on, and that's Nate Davis, right? This is going to be a big year for Nate Davis for a couple of reasons. He started off last season missing games due to personal issues. I'm never going to hold the personal issues against him. You got to take care of your family, right? But then the high ankle sprain came. And at the end of the day, 2023 wasn't a great season for Nate Davis. It probably brought more questions than what he came into with to the Chicago Bears. And the fact that we do have him under contract for 2 more years, but it's a little dead money in 2025. So when it comes down to that this may be a big season of evaluation, I think when it comes down to it, if Nate Davis does not perform well and misses a bunch of time, those two things is that Ryan Poles made this may be his last season in the Chicago Bears uniform. They may look to move on from that contract because there's not a lot of dead money on it in 2025. And that's one of the good things that Ryan Poles continues to do as the GM of the Chicago Bears. When he brings players in, especially veteran players, those contracts are usually, after about a year or two, you usually can get out of that pretty reasonably and still, not have a large amount of dead money there. So I think when it comes down to it, Nate Davis still has tons of potential of what he can be. We know what he can be as a veteran. and I think he can help shore up that offensive line a lot, but he has to remain healthy. And so that's the biggest question for him. If he can't stay healthy, don't be surprised if this may be the last season for Nate Davis as a member of the Chicago Bears. So, and then we're going to, from those are kind of the proven things, right? And then you got Braxton Jones. Braxton is always going to be an interesting topic of debate because when you look at where we drafted him at, he's really turned into a solid pick there, right? But when it comes down to it, is that Braxton still has a lot left to prove, right? He hasn't really developed much. It's kind of my personal critique on Braxton Jones is that he came into the league with tons of potential, tons of physical, raw talent, and I think he's still very much that same player. I don't think that Braxton Jones has really developed in a meaningful way yet, and that's not to say that he still can't. Some people are late bloomers, things like that, but I don't think that he's going to get a contract extension with the Chicago Bears if he doesn't show that he can improve. And so I think that when it comes down to it, this is going to be an important year, this and next season. The next 2 years are very important for Braxton Jones to prove that he can develop, right? He's a solid blocker. He's an extremely solid piece. And I would go on to say that as a depth piece, he can probably be even better. But when it comes down to it, he's about an average starting tackle in the NFL. And that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Be clear, to be at average is not bad, especially with kind of the players that are around you, if they can stay. But when it comes down to it, is that Braxton Jones may be expendable by the Chicago Bears team, and I think they got to make some tough decisions on that, but it comes down to what and how he performs and if he can develop some from what he's done before. All right, let me know what you guys think on that. But then we also have another player that I want to talk about that isn't as easy to judge. Larryborm is another one. He's set right now to make $3.2 million this year. When it comes down to it, we'll see what happens with that. And then, so when it comes to Larryborm, I think, and I saw this on Bears Wire, I believe, is that they suggested that Ryan Poles may go to Larryborm and ask him to take a pay cut. And if he doesn't take a pay cut, this could be his last season for the Chicago Bears. So, we'll see what happens there. I think Borm has shown himself to be solid enough, right? And, he hasn't been perfect, things like that, but you can find better depth pieces than Larryborm. And the Bears aren't going to pay that or pay an exorbitant amount of money. We've already paid offensive linemen too much money for them not really to perform. So I think when it comes down to Larryborm and his performance, now with kind of the added depth that we've had there, it's going to be important to see how he grows as well in his game, and if he can stay healthy, if he can play solid, and if his performance dictates it, then they may not ask him to do a pay cut, but it is something to look at. And then we got the new Bears coming to this team, and both Matt Pryor, Jake Curran, and Coleman Shelton. And it's not a lot to be able to give these guys a whole hell of a lot. I think that Shelton is going to be here. He's going to get an opportunity to start. He may very well win that starting position, and the Bears could look to bring him back as a veteran piece. But I think the Bears are on the clock to try to find their next starting center. Same with Ryan Bates. Ryan Bates is a player that's brought here as well, who is not going to be. I don't think he's going to be earth shattering or anything, but he can end up playing a lot of games for the Chicago Bears. Depending on who else they move off on or health, he could end up starting a couple of games, but he came here to be flexible, and he's out at the right price tag as well for the Chicago Bears to be flexible all up and down that offensive line. And then a player that I left out of here that I really don't know how to is J. Tyree Carter. I would not be surprised if J. Tyree Carter is not on the roster to start the season. If maybe he ends up on the practice squad, I wouldn't be surprised with that at all. I don't know if J. Tyree Carter is he's on the roster right now. I don't know if he's going to be on the roster to start the season. And that may be the best bet for the Chicago Bears. But let me know what you guys think on this offensive line, right? And kind of going through it and talking about it, do you kind of agree that a lot of these guys are on notice for next season? And, that's if the Bears don't do like a Joe, get a Joe at number 9, which we got a voicemail on, so we'll dive further into there. But this is going to be an interesting evaluation year for this offensive line, because I tell you what, with the way that Ryan Poles has improved the weapons there with Shane Waldron coming in, a lot of these heads may roll on the offensive line if they don't start staying healthy or developing. So let me know what you guys think on all that down below. Now, let's go ahead and get into the voicemails for today. This one's from Damien.
Good afternoon, guys. What's going on, man? This is Damien from South Carolina, big Chicago fan, man. Chicago Bear fan. I would say, I hear y'all say we shouldn't put pressure on one of these rookie quarterbacks to get up. Well, we know it's gonna be Caleb Williams, but I disagree with y'all with that because going off what everyone says how great Caleb Williams is and how way better than Justin Fields is, and stepping into position he is, the pressure is on him on himself. And you got to think about it. He don't be a target this year because the way he's talking. Like Katie McCoy said he bumped into him at dinner out there in L.A. or something like that, and he was telling him, I could do the same thing as Patrick Mahomes. Now, you all know how the lead is. They take offense to people, rookies coming straight in saying, I can do what this guy do. Patrick Mahomes has put in that work and slave giant. You coming in off playing college football saying that. So with that being said, man, I think he's talking a little too much. And also going back to expectations for him, man. I'm sorry, he is unfair. Just like we said it was unfair for Justin, it's unfair for him. Only way he get bailed out of here, he get injured and anything, or key players get injured. Other than that, no. Playoff. And then he want to say he compared to Patrick Mahomes. Boy, Patrick Mahomes came out the gate as a starter going to the AFC Championship. Can you take it to the NFC Championship for your first start? So I think, man, he's talking too much. Last thing I'm going to say is, when I look at overall everything, we sacrificed Justin Fields' career to put the Bears in a great position for the next 5 to 8 years. I want to know, do y'all agree with that? I don't like to say Chicago up, Bear down, but I always just like to say I'm afraid of monsters. I'm afraid of monsters, a.k.a. I believe in monsters. But, man, y'all guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of y'all. Talk to you later.
Pressure on rookie quarterbacks. Here's what I'll say, right? When we say don't put pressure on Caleb Williams, we mean pressure to replicate what C.J. Stroud did last year. And I get why Bears fans do that. That's the only thing, at least I can't talk for the guys. They're not on here. But when I say that, it's that type of pressure. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be pressure on Caleb Williams just by being a quarterback at the NFL level, or any of the rookies that we can potentially bring in here. And that, yeah, you got to have pressure to perform. But I'm saying to say that, and there are some. I'm not saying this is a large part of the community, but I do think there's some Bears fans that have this thought of if Caleb Williams doesn't replicate what C.J. Stroud did last year, even going so far as to say you need to get a playoff win, you need to do that, then they're ready to label him a bust, and that's what I meant by the pressure. But I completely agree with you. Like, there is tons of pressure. And is Caleb Williams talking too much? I would probably say yeah. I mean, just to be fair, I would probably, for somebody who hasn't proved anything in the NFL yet, I would say yeah. But I'm going to say this as well. If he comes in and proves it, I don't think nobody's going to be worried about what he came in and said. But again, in that first year, got to temper those expectations. But yeah, Caleb Williams is putting an even bigger target on his back than what he would have by how much he's talking. That's going to happen. There are going to be people, and make no mistake about it, everybody who gets close to Caleb Williams or puts him in the dirt is going to be saying some of the same thing the Bears fans say about the painted nails and things like that. There are going to be people to say, I don't like that coming from our community, but how Caleb Williams deals with this pressure, especially in year one, after, the Bears moved on from Justin Fields, I think he's going to tell us a lot about his character in Warrenthal as well, and I can't wait to see it. Let's see how he, pressure either busts pipes or makes diamonds. Let's hope it's going to be making a diamond here in Chicago because the city deserves one. All right, let's get into the next voicemail. This one's from Ant.
Yo, what up, Hayes? This is Anthony down in Louisiana. Hey, we want to make a quick comment about the whole quarterback situation. We got it. We moved on from Justin Fields. And I'm telling you right now, I'm an absolute Justin Fields fan. I wanted him to stay. I wanted the Bears to keep him because, we have a playoff team. I just don't want a rookie quarterback running my playoff-ready team. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to knock any other quarterbacks we don't draft or whatever. If we couldn't keep Justin Fields, I would have loved to have a Kansas City type situation with Alex Smith. Alex Smith took the Chiefs to the playoffs while Patrick Mahomes sat. The next year, Patrick Mahomes took the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game. Now, win, lose, or draw, whatever the case may be, the Bears are in that exact same type situation if you ask me, in my opinion. So I wish we would have got a good veteran quarterback to just plug in play and let Caleb Williams or whatever first round quarterback we pick hit down for a little bit, for a year. Just let him sit back and watch as this team develops, as this team runs, as this team goes. So this way he can not only learn the offense, learn the checks, learn the verbiage, learn the language, learn how to get everything up and going, but he can also see how his receivers react in game situations and not on tape, how his tight ends react, how his line block, how his running backs move. You know what I mean? Like, he can see all that stuff on the field and not just on tape. Granted, you can learn a lot from tape, but you can learn so much more from watching in game. And I believe that's what helped Patrick Mahomes succeed. So I wish the Bears would have set it up that way. Now, like I said, I'm a Justin Fields fan. I'm not mad or blame Ryan Poles for Justin Fields not being here. Like, we can go through that whole scenario that's been gone through 1,003 times. I wish that brother nothing but success and love, and hope he blossoms into what he's gonna be. But I just don't want a rookie quarterback making mistakes on the team that we've been desperately clamoring to fight and get to the point where we at, to where we can be a playoff team, just for a rookie quarterback that don't understand the game fully to make, those rookie mistakes that may keep us out of the playoffs. That's just my take on it. But I hope he blossoms, I hope he shines, and I hope he don't make those rookie mistakes. Because if we can get to the playoffs with that rookie, man, next year after this next season coming up, boy, we can get to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. Just imagine what we're going to do the season after that when we make some more upgrades. We got all those extra draft picks and money coming in. You know what I mean? I love it, but I wish we had a better situation. But as always, you know what I'm saying, shot time up, bear down. Peace, y'all.
All right, I can understand about where you come from with saying let Caleb sit here. Completely understand that. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Like, that's not the direction that it seems like this Bears team is going to go. It seems like they're going to start him. They're going to let him go through his ups and downs. But here's the thing, that they've set up this roster in a way that his growing pains should not be as extreme as what it was for Justin Fields, and that goes a long way in building a quarterback as well. But I think for what it's worth, outside of, like you said, bringing in a veteran so he can sit for a year, the Bears have done everything for right now. We'll see what they do in the draft to make this transition as easy as possible for Caleb Williams or whoever the rookie quarterback is, if it's not Caleb Williams. And that's really the most that you can ask for the front office to do. But great voicemail there from Ant. Great points made all up and down there for sure, brother. Let's get into this next one. This one's from Cole.
Hey, what's good, everyone? This is Cole. I'm just reaching out again. I have a couple questions for you, and I just want to hear what you think. So everyone's talking about, obviously, Caleb, number one. But this number 9 pick, I'm really, I'm just wondering what they'll do with it, just because I think that they're talking if Marvin, he could somehow, some miracle, drop to number 9. That is a possible chance. Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze. Like, if those three, either of those three are at 9, I think we take one of them. Like, there's no question. And I think this draft should be offensive heavy for the Bears. I really do think we should be getting a lot of depth on the wide receiver, tight end, whatever. O-line, all that. I know we need a D-end as well. Maybe we'll draft one maybe in the second or maybe in the first. But I don't know. I think that if there is a nice wide receiver at number 9, like Malik, Marvin, or a Rome Odunze, I think we got to take one of them, no question. Let me know what you think. A lot of people think that we should take a D-end at number 9, but I think if there's one of those three, we got to take it. And if not, I think we should trade back if those wide receivers are not there, just to get some more draft picks. Let me know what you think. I'm curious, and I'm just so damn excited, man. It's a great time to be a Bears fan. I am sad about Justin, but just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'm wishing him the best of luck. I love Justin. He's the whole reason why I love watching Bears games for the past 3 years. If it wasn't for him, I would have been bored out of my mind. So, but yeah, just let me know what you think about the number 9 pick. I'm really curious. Thanks. And, Chicago up, bear down, baby. Let's go.
Being a wide receiver at number 9. I mean, listen, I've seen some of those mocks that say things like MHJ could fall to number 9. I tell you what, if you let Marvin Harrison Jr. fall to number 9, everybody in the NFL, like, that's going to be a lot of people who get fired. A lot of GMs are going to look back and get fired over that move. I don't understand. Like, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a generation. But there are other positions and players. Joe Aldridge generational, and he's at number 9. I think you got to take him too. But yeah, I do think the Bears have a lot of reasons to get a wide receiver at number 9. And for me, the talent that's there in those top 3 wide receivers, get them. I said I'm all about the talent. The trade down, trade back, things like that. I get it, and especially to consider who may be off the board, we'll see. But I definitely think that if one of those 3 wide receivers are there, I'm all for taking one of them. But you guys can let me know what you think down below. All right, let's get into this next voicemail. This one's from Book.
Yo, Hayes, what's good, man? This Book, man. Blessings to you and yours. Hey, got a little bit of a thought, man, and wanted to see how you feel about it. I know everybody is, talking about the edge position, opposite of Sweat. And, because of, the draft picks that we have, which are not many, well, the Bears have, which is not many. I say, I think they should try, Ngakoue again, man. See if he'll come back, because of the injury, see if he'll take like a little bit of if he can get him back between like with $6 or $7 million instead of the $10 million, because I would like to see him with the full year with Sweat on the other side, because he started to take off a little bit when Sweat got here before he got hurt, man. So, and I know he had his worst year ever, you know what I'm saying, when he with the Bears, but realistically, all the time, he gets at least 8 sacks. So I wanted to see, man, what you feel, to see if maybe we give him another try, man, and probably save the draft picks to shore up, to shore up the O-line, man, because I'm not too much worried about the defense as much as I am with the offense, man. And with the offense, I mean the O-line. I think they still need more depth, and I think they still need a center. I'm still not too, sure about the centers that we have, I mean, they're better than what we had. Anything is better than what we had. But I think they should try to get one of these centers in this draft. So let me know what you think, man. That's all I wanted to say. Again, blessings to you and yours. Chicago up, bear down. You have a good weekend, man.
The potential of bringing back Yannick Ngakoue, here's what I'll say. I'm not against it. I'm really not against it. I know some Bears fans are completely against that. I know he had a terrible season last year, the worst of his career. But like you said, when you look at what he's typically able to bring, we could use that. We can now. He's not good in the run game. We've seen that. I had some hope that maybe that was all kind of hype, but no, it's real. Now Montez Sweat is solid in both the pass and the run game. I think the pressure that he brings, and if Javon Dexter develops as well, that can definitely help. And so make no mistake about it. But it depends on the money. I don't think he's going to get the money that he got last year, considering he's coming off an injury. And I do think if the Bears don't go edge in the draft, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that Yannick Ngakoue to come back to Chicago. I just think that it's going to be something that has to wait till after the draft if it does happen. And Yannick sat out that long before, so we'll see what happens there. But Book, great voicemail as always from Book. Book's one of the favorite around here. All right, let's get into the last voicemail. This one's from Darius.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Darius from Dallas here. Just wanted to touch on a couple questions that you asked in some recent podcasts, man. As far as the Hard Knocks thing goes, I say why not, dude? Why not give our team some popularity? Maybe we end up getting a couple games flex because of that. Maybe, Caleb Williams starts to get the popularity, and, maybe he starts getting those Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady calls where you look at him and it's a flag. Why can't that be us for a change? We sit there and watch Aaron Rodgers get that treatment. Why not give some popularity with our team? And I know the old stigma of, the McCaskies just are private and they really don't like it. Well, who gives a fuck what they want to do? Because, quite frankly, they have not done anything to bring a championship to this organization. So who cares about how they do things? Maybe we need to do something different. So why not shake it up with Hard Knocks? Fuck it. Also, man, as far as the number 9 pick, I'm not really worried about it, to be honest, because I know that when that pick comes, we're going to have whatever player available is going to be the top prospect at their position. We get a Joe Alt, top prospect at his position. If we end up going with, what's the pass rusher from Florida State, Jared Verse, that's a top guy at this position. Wide receiver, we might not get the top guy. We're going to get a top 2 or 3 guy to pair with what we already have, man. So it's really a win-win either way it goes. So I'm not too worried about it. If I had my preference, I'd probably go Jared Verse because I think we're one pass rusher away from being a top 3 defense this year. And I think that will help Caleb more get in a good field position than it would, him, having a left tackle for protection. That's just my opinion. You can go either way. That's just how I feel about it, man. But Texas up and I got it bear down.
Hard Knocks. I mean, I gave my thoughts on Hard Knocks. I agree with yours. Like, to me, do it. And I seen people leave comments like, you don't want the show. Hard Knocks isn't that type of reality show. It's not really a side show. It's just you letting cameras into what's already going on. It's not like you're going to have people picketing outside of Hallis Hall. Like, I think we got to, like, some people react, they hear reality TV and they think, like, this ain't Love and Hip Hop, right? We're not doing Basketball Wives in this mug. This ain't the Wives of Potomac. Like, what are we doing here, right? It's literally just letting cameras in, and they're very respectful to letting teams go through their thing and not making it an over-the-top show. So I think we'll see. At the end of the day, like I said in yesterday's episode, if I had to guess, will it happen or will it not? Probably not. I just think that, the Bears are going to resist it as much as they can, and we'll see there. Now, as far as number 9, going Joe Alt or wide receiver at number 9, I don't think that you can go wrong there. Now, when it comes to Jared Verse can be drafted if you trade down, because he may not go until number 12 through 15, and if that's the case, and sure, Ryan Poles is going to evaluate it. If you could trade down and still get him, then you can get him. I think it's Dallas Turner who's looked at as the top edge in this draft, and even then, he's better than Jared Verse, and his ceiling projects to be higher, but it's not that much higher to where maybe if it's the edge that falls, you still look to trade down. But to me, Joe Alt, generational at his position. Rome, and Malik, I wouldn't necessarily call generational, but they are damn good players that I don't think you can do wrong at drafting either one of those guys at number 9. So we'll see what the Bears' plans are. I mean, we got a little under a month left, and hey, we'll see. And I can't wait to talk. I cannot wait for this draft this year. It's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun. But that's my time for today, guys. Make sure you guys are following the show at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number 1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.